Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Krista and I'm doing your general reading for the sign of Virgo, sun, moon, and rising signs. This is for June 2019. I hope that you enjoyed your May 2019 readings. If you have a specific concern or question, my contact information is in the description for this video below. Otherwise, you can apply these messages to any pertinent or outstanding issue in your life at this time. All right, so messages for Virgo, sun, moon, and rising for June 2019. What does Virgo need to know for June? Messages for Virgo. Virgo. Ooh, we have a really nice Taurus showing up here, and the King of Pentacles jumping out. Could be a Taurus-related issue. Could be looking at really any earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo. That could be you. That could be you taking the reins or control of something here. There's also something having to do with value systems or money or even excellent health. So you're at the pinnacle of those concerns. It looks like you're on top of the world here. We'll see if it shows up in your spread today. All right, messages for Virgo for June 2019. All right, Virgo, 5-card reading for you today. Bottom of the deck energy will apply to the reading as well. And then of course we'll get jumper cards from the oracle decks here. All right, and then bottom of the deck. So I'm going to use the two of them here. Bottom of the deck energy is actually the 5 of Pentacles. And you do have some more Pentacles in your reading, so there could be a sense, there could be an imbalance around expenditure at this time. There could be a sense of loss where there really isn't any. There could be sort of maybe a sudden charge or a sudden payment. But I think it's going to be temporary here. So the 5 of Pentacles, we're really just looking at somewhat of a sense of rejection or a sense of loss here. It could be around a value system, something that was valuable to you. It could even be a health issue at this time. But remember, the 6 is never far behind. Or I should say the 6 is never far away from the 5. So something will be balanced out briefly. It could just be a measure of you perhaps finding someone else to work on this with you, or even asking for assistance at this time. You could ask for help here. I think that someone is in your corner with the 10 of Cups right underneath this 5. It could even just be a feeling that you're having. And I mean, you're allowed to feel that. You're allowed to feel loss or grief. You're allowed to feel left out. Just make sure that this doesn't overpower all the good that you can manage in the month of June for yourself. So we do have a little bit of water here with the 10 even under the 5, which I did look at. Yeah, you do have a wish card here. The wish is in the situation environment here. So, but something here, at least with the outcome here, is what sort of maybe a little bit of clinging, maybe, you know, this sense of worry over a sense of loss. So whatever it is in the month of June for you, we're going to try to combat a sense of loss here, okay? Because we have both the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Pentacles. Of course, this is a sense of rejection, maybe even ill health, okay? Or the loss of something valuable, even temporarily for you. And then, you know, as the outcome card, the 3 of Swords, we're looking at really a sense of, it's not the same as an inability to let go. It's just something that kind of broke your heart, and it's sort of, you know, maybe reappearing or emerging again. And we will get a clarifier to look at that in detail in just a moment. Of course, you have these beautiful Pentacle energy cards here, and then the Chariot. So you could be dealing with a Cancerian in the month of June. You could have issues with regard to your car or some sort of transportation. There could be travel featured at this time. That could be all it is for you right now in the month of June, by the way. Virgo, it could just be something regarding travel that didn't work out exactly the way you wanted, or something with regard, you know, maybe to a car or some sort of transport decision or incident here. But ultimately, the Chariot is lovely. It's full forces ahead. This is knowing exactly what you want and going for it. And we're also dealing with a sense of victory here. The Chariot is, you know, you get to ride through the crowds and people are cheering for you. So I think there's a lot to look forward to here. We're just looking at some perhaps difficult energies that we're going to try to manage in the month of June. So as I mentioned briefly, we do have the Nine of Cups representing the situation in the month of June for you. And this is really the wish card, right? We're also dealing, you know, because it's cups and we're dealing with heart and love and romance, and we're dealing with compassion and just really sensitive energy, anything that makes us sensitive. You know, we're really going to pay attention to what we are wishing for, using that energy as potently and as confidently and as positively as we can, because in the challenge, we have something we've been working on for a long time. So maybe not undoing something that's already underway would be the best way to go about June. So we're not going to go revisiting anything. We're not looking at any sevens whatsoever here at all. So if there is something that you're already underway in process of maybe working hard on, for example, here, you know, maybe just see it through. Let's just say you're having doubts about it or second thoughts, or it wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be, etc. You know, I just think for your own peace of mind, we're just going to keep going through it, plow through it, because the solution is to just get some help, to ask for a little bit of help here, to work on something diligently that you've been working on, right? Because we have the three following. We have this ask for help, or, you know, let's work in tandem together on something that's built to last, right? Something you've been working on hard that's built to last here. You just might need to reach out. You just may need a helping hand. You may need some advice. You may need a physical place to build something. You may need some, you know, expert advice or input into a long-standing or long-term project here for you. So basically what I'm trying to say here is, you know, just be careful not to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because it looks like you've got a really nice, something is already underway that's very positive for you and kind of built to last here. Chariot is showing up in what is hidden. So yeah, I mean, this, like I said, this could show up around a transport issue. This could be a Cancerian in your life. It could even have to do with Cancer ruled fourth house, right? The home, the mother, nurturing, the hidden realms, the moon, you know, anything with regard to fourth house, the sign Cancer, nurturing, motherhood, transport, travel. You could be a Virgo who's literally undergoing labor at this time. You could be producing something, and, you know, ultimately with anything new, and we don't have any aces here, so I don't necessarily see that something being necessarily produced or born this month, but it could just be, say, a gestation period of sorts. And, you know, with the outcome, and like I said, we will look at this in depth in just a moment, but, you know, something is a little bit of a letdown here. Something isn't what you perhaps expected it to be because of the Three of Swords here. It could even be something else coming around, you know, like something. We don't have a Six of Cups here, but we do have a 10 and a 9 of Cups. So we could have something that's, like I said, maybe you had your heart set on something and it's not, turning out precisely the way that you expected it to or wanted it to, but it doesn't mean that it's awful, and it doesn't mean that it will never turn out that way for you. We also have 2 3s, so I want to make mention as well that you could be dealing with a third party if this is a romance or even business concern for you at this time. Something that's long-term, something that's probably already underway. There could be a third party individual here who could be causing, maybe just getting in the way, causing concern. Maybe you prefer not to work with that person. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune clarifying the 3 of Swords. I mean, and I did just say this was coming back around. I do believe very strongly that whenever we see the 3 of Swords, we are seeing something that, you know, for each of us within our human condition, okay, with this one life that we have, each person has kind of 3 swords we'll never be able to remove from our lives. And it's going to be very, very different from one person to the next. So this could be old energy that's sort of reappearing, showing up again. Could be an ex. Could be, it could just be because, I mean, we're dealing with air, thoughts and beliefs and so forth. It could just be, just negative energy, negative impressions, a negative sense of self, that type of thing. Negative, self-narratives sort of just, reappearing, coming up again, especially if you're moving along, prodding along quite comfortably here. If you sort of feel or you see maybe some of your dreams or your wishes starting to come true, for example, it could just be some old energy that's showing up. And the Wheel of Fortune, as that lovely 10, is saying, okay, you know what? It's time to close. We can close the door on that now. Okay. We don't have to go through that anymore. That's something that will always be there. It'll always be something that you personally have not only encountered, but have surpassed. So you don't have to drag yourself down by that anymore. You don't have to suffer anymore or at all with that third party or with an issue that seems to be, feeling a little bit heavy, feeling a little bit, I was going to say worried. I don't really see a lot of worry here. I just see this sense of being caught up in something that's old. It's just old energy, and something new, really new and beautiful and compassionate and loving is really trying to make itself known. It's trying to make its way in. Like there is a victory that's available to you here, right? Because this is in the hidden column. What's available to you. Maybe travel is a good idea at this time. Maybe even getting away from a physical condition or a physical property here. Moving away from something that feels heavy on your head or that you find it hard to get over. Maybe it'll just always be there and you'll always look at that with a sense of loss, and that's just the way it is. That's part of the human condition. But we don't have to focus on that. We can, the Wheel of Fortune says, we have ancestral and source energy on our side in order to move forward, right? We're going to move forward in the direction of our dreams. So these guys jumped out of the Wisdom of the Oracle deck there, folks. So we have imagine. Yes, use your imagination to your advantage, right? Here with the Three of Swords, we have this sense of where is your imaginative and narrative energy going? What stories are you telling yourself about yourself, right? And your dreams and goals. So we're just going to pay attention to how we use our mind and our thought energy. And here with flexible, I mean, you could have more going for you than you had anticipated. You could be able to weather a storm you didn't anticipate or expect or absolutely want. Nobody wants to weather a storm. But you are more flexible in a difficult situation than you may think. Also, what may have been seen as a weakness before is your strength right now. It's like the willow tree bending type thing as opposed to, being stern and stiff. Or, look at it like a bridge, for example. Bridges and very, very tall buildings are designed to move. So, at first glance, it looks like a solid structure and it's not supposed to move. And, but that's not the way it is. It's actually built to move around, and bridges are built to withstand movement. So I think you have a lot more power here than you may be giving yourself credit for. Basically, I'm going to ask that you get out of the Five of Pentacles and Three of Swords energy. That's, I really do feel that's just old energy. And like I said, I mean, we did have the King of Pentacles jump out at the very beginning of your reading there. I think there could be a lesson that a Taurus has for you. Balance is very important at this time, and then answered prayer. I think that these are really important issues for you at this time. Asking someone for help, even if it's source energy, ancestors, prayers to your favorite archangel or Jesus, Mary, Gaia, whomever you have that relationship with, maybe reach out at this time. Like I said, use this imaginative and very fertile wish energy at this time in the month of June for yourself. Use it to your advantage. We're not going to look in that rear view mirror, right? So balance is really signified, in my view, very strongly by Libra. So there could be some air sign qualities. You could be dealing with a Libra or Taurus. Ultimately, both of those signs are ruled by Venus. So there could be creative, love, romance, beauty, right? Anything having to do with the truth. Beauty is truth. So also when we're looking at Venus, we are looking at art. We are looking at anything having to do with creativity, development, personal development, but for the sake of beauty, right? For no other sake but for beauty. And it was a really, very, very strong, the Taurus, the King of Pentacles, very, very intense energy. There could be Taurus field issues that you may need to address in the month of June as well. So maybe some realignment elements that you can address in the month of June for yourself, Virgo. So retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. Yeah, I think either someone else or it is putting maybe not so helpful messages in your environment, or something more likely than not, something from your past is sort of showing up here. And it's almost like things started going really well. And that's usually when it happens, things start going really well. They feel tickety-boo. You're on the right path. You feel really solid. And bam, there's your past. Or feelings of inadequacy or a rejection here. So a realignment is very, very positive endeavor for you in the month of June. Here we have scrutiny with the mouse. So mouse is absolutely in opposition to the eagle, for example. And you'll notice, the predator prey, right? One is not right and wrong. One is not better than the other. They both have gifts that they can offer that are incredibly valuable. So we're going to look at the word scrutiny here with mouse. So, imagine a little mouse just on the ground, very, very small. You tend to see things very, very up close, very, very in detail. And this can be a wonderful attribute. It can be a wonderful gift. There is a time and a place for that. However, I think that there could perhaps be an over scrutiny, an over analyzing, overarching, say, finalizations, or even with this dream card or the wish card here, like this element of maybe talking yourself out of it somehow, looking too closely at it, in the vein of, I would love, this is my wish, but I don't know how that would happen. So we're just going to stop at this is my wish, right? And we're not going to look at the details right now anyway, not in the month of June. We're going to leave the details out of it. I think scrutiny may be used. I think we can use it a little bit differently. We can use it with regard to, wish making, and then using it toward the direction of your dreams with regard to using your imagination to your benefit. If you find that you're scrutinizing something too closely, or you need, right, some distance, you need to retreat from something here, I think that's your best bet. If nothing else, to just give yourself some peace and to come back in and to center with yourself and to love and respect yourself fully, right? Like you did here with this 10 of Cups. So you came from a really full place of love and compassion and enlightenment here. So beware that you're not talking yourself out of that, okay? You really do deserve the best. You really are on the right path for yourself. You've worked long and hard for this. So try not to talk yourself out of something really important, and just decide to move past something that's difficult for you here. So that is your June 2019 reading. I hope that you enjoyed that. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now, Virgo.